welcome to another episode of Shooting
the Shit with Rachael
and Neil Young. So we're talking all things real estate photography business growth, mindset, and getting it done. Here come your favorite true entrepreneurs, Rachael and Neil Young, shooting the shit.
I have a ferret on the podcast. Like if we're kind of in a slump, like what kind of things do you do?
Talking about a boob light.
Straddling a power line.
Nice photo.
Ooh, I need that.
I'm like red right now because I'm embarrassed. I go like this. I love it.
Hey, come in.
Sure, use your podcast voice.
And over here, I'm pitting out.
Drone's like flipping to the ground.
That's a great callback.
Chit-chatting.
Is that what you call that?
Hey!
Hey!
Rach, who do you love?
HD Photo Hub.
Today's episode is brought to you by HD Photo Hub.
The platform real estate photographers trust.
And so do we, because Rach and I both use it on a daily basis. Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Chickadee, check it before you wreck it. Hey, gang, welcome back. We've been away for a minute, but we are psyched to be back, and we've got already some exciting stuff coming your way. Rachael was at PMRE. I wasn't able to make it, but Rach came up with some awesome interviews while she was there. Rach, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. So, okay, just to let you know, if you listened to our podcast episode last year after PMRE, the audio was so bad. So I improved the audio. I got the DJI little audio kit that plugs into your phone. So that's better. But the lighting still not on point. So next year we'll work on that. You know, you got to improve one thing every time. So we have things to improve upon. But I interviewed 4 individuals at the conference and just asked them some fun questions about how they market their business, kind of where they're at in their business. And yeah, we're going to play those for you here after a little intro. But I just thought it would be fun to bring the conference to the podcast just to get some fun little interviews from different people in the industry.
So yeah, the PMRE, I have yet to make it, of course. Now we're going on 2 years with the podcast, and Rach and I still have not met, but I have promised to make it there next year, which will be funny. Rach probably won't be able to go.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, sorry, I can't make it. No, I'll be there. I'll be there. I had so much fun this year. I'm going again. I really didn't know how much I would get out of it this year, because last year it was good, but a lot of it was stuff that I kind of already knew. Like I did get some stuff out of it, but it was just a really good opportunity to network and to be in a room with your people that do what you do is a really rare occasion. That was just, it filled my soul. So I was happy that I was able to go this year. And then HD Photo Hub had 5 key milestones in your business was their presentation. And so I was up on the panel for that, which was really fun to be up on stage again. So that's cool.
Yeah, and you had some good takeaways this year too, though, didn't you?
Yeah. So for me, it was like the first speaker that spoke, he was a business coach, and he was talking about the definition of success and defining what success looks like for you. Like success can be anything, right? And if you don't have a definition of what success looks like for you, then how will you ever know if you've made it? So that was an interesting one to me because I've never really thought about it. I've just always thought like, oh, I mean, I'm successful, but like I still have a ways to go, you know? So by me really thinking about, okay, what would it look like for me to consider myself successful? Like, obviously I think I'm successful, but there's more that I want to do and accomplish. So, and that was kind of just like one of those things for you to think about, like, what is your definition of success? Neil, what's your definition of success?
Oh, that is a tough one.
Just springing it on you.
That's a tough one. I mean, in my business, and here's the thing too, there's like a big crossover between in your business or 2 different categories I see in my business and in my life. And they may overlap or they may not, you know what I mean? Or they may overlap to a degree. Success in my life is a whole bunch. It's a loaded question. There's a whole bunch of things there, like being a good dad, being a good husband, trying to give back to the world and trying to, do something with my life, feel like I actually did something good with my life. That's my life part. And so then it'd be great if they could just totally align the business and that, and maybe they will someday. And I kind of always hope that they will. And then the business part, success, of course, the first success is just, I want to get to a point where I don't worry about bills anymore. Like, it's just not like December isn't just like terror.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
so there's that. And then there's beyond that too. Like the real estate business is one thing of a success, but I also really have other things that I've always wanted to do. You know, that I had an acting, career and stuff like that. And part of that may kind of eventually fall over into the extracurricular life stuff, the giving back. I think that may blend in eventually, helping people with some of those venues, or, helping kids with creative arts, or I don't know, but there's a lot of things there in there. It's not easy for me to just say, if I make $500,000, I'll be successful. It's not as easy for me, but you got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? And there's probably a bunch of different goals for each of these things that I could have, like a tier 1 goal to reach, and then like maybe 3 more after that. Because that's the thing too, is you think, yeah, you're going to be successful when you hit this mark. I know we've talked about that. When you hit those goals, you then feel like there's something else you should do, or there's more you need to do. So then you kind of have to reassess and make a new goal, because maybe I did already hit some goals for my business, starting out and just surviving and paying the bills for a year, and not when I wasn't waiting tables anymore. That was the first success I ever had in my business, right? So I don't know, such a loaded question, Rachel. You answer.
She's Louise. Once I have a Lambo, I'll be successul. No. Yeah, that's back on the table. Okay.
What about just a hood ornament? What
do I think success, like you said, there's 2 different aspects of it. I really think that I feel successful in my family and my relationship. Like, I am a great mom. I've got a good balance now with my business and my personal life, which was huge. That's happened over the last year. And I think this year for me, like, I think every year you just have to reevaluate what would make you feel successful. And for me, like, I feel like I had a successful last year. Like, it was great. But for next year, it's pulling out more from shooting and getting more shooters and getting an assistant that's going to help me run everything on the back end. Like, once I can accomplish that and I can truly go on vacation, I think I've succeeded. Truly unplug. Like, my husband would be so happy if I could just turn my phone off for a week.
It has been a struggle this year for me, and there was a lot of things I set out to do differently this year. A lot of them didn't go as planned, so it was kind of interesting to go and and now I'm at this place of like reassessing, going, is that what I want? Is that what I should be doing? Like, trying to grow and get more shooters and branch out to other places? Or am I beating my head against a wall and I'm just be happy with what I do for myself and what my wife does for her part of the business? Should I just focus on that and then find something else totally separate to focus on and just be happy with that? It's an interesting challenge. And this year was a tricky one, because it wasn't the same at all as last year. It was a lot harder this year than the previous year. So it's hard to kind of separate those things as well and go, like, what was a win and what wasn't, or what was just kind of a little bit less than you expected because of some of these external factors and stuff. So it is tricky. So I'm totally reassessing all that right now. I'm like just trying to like recover from the year and go, what did we do well? What didn't we do well? And what am I doing next is really the big question. This next year, I still haven't figured out, what am I going to focus on? Am I focusing just on me and my part of the business? Am I going to double down on growing the business and getting more shooters? Or am I really going to focus on what I've talked about for now 2 years, doing something extracurricular to make money that's totally independent of the real estate business? So I'm trying to figure that out,
Yeah. Well, it's a good time to figure it out. The end of 2023. This will come out beginning of 24. So you have a week.
Yeah, I've got a week to figure it out.
Well, if you want to brainstorm, you can always call me up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's a good question to kind of ask yourself, like, what's your definition of success going forward, especially coming into the new year? It's a good one. Definitely. Yeah, so that was an interesting speech and something that really resonated with me. And then Cody Boone, who was on Ryan Serhant's team, he was his videographer. They were pumping out, what did he say? Like a ton of videos every month. I can't remember the number, but ridiculous amount. He just went off on his own. He's going out to work with a filmmaker out in LA, which is just a cool new opportunity for him. But his speech was incredible. Like, it was so cool. He showed us a couple example videos of like creative videos that he made for Ryan, and they just blew my mind. Like, really made me rethink the way that we could market brokers could be so much more creative. It's how many times have you seen an interior video with an agent intro in the beginning and they say the same stuff, like there's so many different ways that we could be showcasing properties and selling the feeling of what it's like to live in a home, and just really selling more of the lifestyle versus just the home itself, which would incorporate more actors and more people into your shots. But I just think there's so much more opportunity. And I think we're going to start to see more and more of this like creative side coming to video because it's been done, like when there's a new like wave of something that comes out on the internet, it's like, the early adopters are all successful because they just started it and they're going to get recognition. But then as time goes on, kind of weeds out the ones that aren't that great. And it's like the ones that are going to stand out are the ones who are going to do it differently. So I think it'll be interesting to see, and you're already kind of seeing it. You're starting to see more and more creative videos coming out for real estate. And yeah, I just think there's a huge aspect of storytelling that could take it to the next level. So it'll be fun to
especially I think especially now it's becoming even more accessible for people to do the videos on their phone and have good quality. The knowledge that you need to use that phone is less than what you'd have to figure out on a DSLR. So I think, it really opens up when you're not worried about the technical as much, then you can just be creative. So the negative, I think, for some of this technology being so easy to get into is, people are scared, like, oh, anybody can do a good video now. But the positive is that, maybe freeing and let you do some creative stuff that you didn't think to do before because you just can play more freely now.
Yeah, it kind of reduces that barrier to entry, right?
Yeah. No, it will be interesting. And it's funny too that, they've been doing those kinds of videos in like LA forever for really big, expensive houses. Cause of course they've always had a bunch of creatives out there that were great at doing this stuff. There's some amazing videos. I saw like this one that's one of the most famous ones from years ago is like a theft that happens at this, beach house, and there's a beautiful model and a helicopter lands on the roof, and like, but now you're seeing just like normal realtors have like a helicopter land. I just saw one in Utah the other day. This girl, helicopter lands on a helipad at the house, and like, it's like, geez, it's crazy.
Dang. Yeah, it's wild. So that was really cool. And then another speech that was, if you know Kelsey Curtis, she's just a ball of energy. Like she came out on stage just ready, just revved up the energy in the crowd. It was great. I was like, oh, hers is going to be so good. And it was. She delivered. It was all about branding. She's a brand photographer out of Bellingham, Washington. And she started a group for lifestyle and branding photography called Elevate Collective. It's a monthly subscription. And she has tutorial videos on how to shoot lifestyle photos, posing. There's documents in there, like her pre-production sheets in there, which is fantastic. I joined, of course, because I love learning about lifestyle stuff. So it's been a fantastic group to be a part of. So if you're interested, I think it's $50 a month to join, and there's a ton of resources. And she's dropping a ton of new how-to videos January 1st. So it's gonna be like a full library. It's basically an online course.
That's cool.
Yeah,
tell my wife about that too. That's cool.
She has,
my wife's now doing all the branding lifestyle stuff for women in small business now is her main focus. So that's cool. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, she's doing a great job. She was great. And then there was a gal, Jessie, that talked about. So I don't know if I've mentioned Building a Story Brand is a book that I read that like this year has really resonated with me. And I'm in one-on-one coaching with a certified story brand guide who's helping me clarify my message. And I'm doing all my own social media for the first quarter of this year and trying to just really be more intentional with what I'm posting and be more clear about what my message is and what I'm selling. Because it's easy to incorporate the podcast and master plan and everything into Focused Media Collective. And it's confusing to clients. They're like, what is this? What are you doing? You're doing so much stuff, when in reality, it should all just be real estate photography because that's the service I'm selling. He's helping me to clarify my message and get all of my messaging down on my website. And like, it's just been fantastic. And anyway, so Jessie's whole speech was about that book and that framework of building your story brand script. Yeah. So it takes you basically through like the outline of how a story is told. And it helps you to basically every script that you write, every email you write can be written with this formula in mind of you have a character who has a problem, who meets a guide, who, gives them a plan and calls them to action and helps them end in success. So every movie you watch follows this kind of formula. Yes. And it's crazy. Once I learned that, I was watching a movie the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, yep, here it is. Here's the guide. He's going to help him with his problem and lead
Yep.
him into success. So it's basically you positioning yourself as a business as the guide, and then your client is the hero of the story. So it's interesting.
Yep.
It's really fun. So I think
Yeah.
now that I'm saying it, we should have John Reed on the podcast if he'll
that'd
come
be
on.
amazing. Yeah, that'd be cool.
He's great.
Yeah, if you guys have not checked out Building a Story Brand, it's really great and it's very easy to understand. So it's not complicated, it's not confusing. In fact, one of the big points of the whole thing is simplifying your message so that it's easily understandable to people who come to your website or your social media, and to keep it consistent so that people are not, one of the things is not burning too many calories, because when you have to think about something too hard, you just go, never mind, and walk away.
He'll move on. Totally.
It's the same thing with a movie. When the plot goes sideways and you're getting confused and you don't understand where it's going, you just, that's it. What else can we watch? So it's the same thing with your brand. If you can simplify that and follow this strategy, it's really cool. And I've been working on it a little bit too. And it's a really cool book. You definitely should check it out, or audiobook while you're driving to your shoots, or while you're chilling this January because you're not as busy. I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was another good one that I really enjoyed. And then Cheyenne Crawford talked about video and scaling her business with video, and she absolutely crushed it. I was so proud of her because I was like, I wonder how she's going to do. Like, I've never seen her really speak on stage, or I haven't really ever heard her perform or anything. So I was like, I mean, she's on Instagram, right? But yeah, she crushed it. And I was like, okay, how many times did you practice that, Cheyenne? Because you did so good. And she was like, oh, I ran through it like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, you're kidding me. Like, wow.
Really? Just 2 or 3 times?
Yeah,
What
she's
the
a
heck?
natural. Unless she
Oh my
just totally
gosh.
lied to me, but I doubt it. No,
Oh,
she
well,
did
who
so good.
knows?
She did so good. So I was proud of her. So that was really, it was
impressive
great to watch. Yeah, I cried at the end of her thing. I was so happy for her. I was like,
No
oh.
kidding. See,
So-
we're missing out if we haven't been. I'm missing
I
out.
know.
This all sounds amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So those are just kind of my favorites. Just kind of recap PMRE. And, you know, if you are a real estate photographer and you're serious about your business, this is a great place to go to just get kind of refueled for the next year. It's always in November. It's right before the slow season. So it just gives you some tools in your tool belt to really buckle down and work on your business through the slow season. And it just inspired the heck out of me. My number one takeaway, because I was on stage, the panel that I did was with 3 other teams. They have teams. One guy has 100 shooters. One guy, I think he had 17 shooters, and the other gal had like 9 shooters, something like that. And then I have like 4 or 5, whatever. And so talking with them, I was asking like, what's your number one way to advertise your business? Because I want to know, because like I do social media, and that's in my newsletter, and real producers, like that's it. And all of them said in-person sales. Like they're going to offices and they are volunteering at events to shoot and handing out their card and talking to people. They're doing a headshot, like a pop-up headshot, you know, shoot day at an office, and not charging a sitting fee, just charging for the photos, you know. But it's about getting in front of people and working with them and having them kind of interact with you is the best way to get new clients. And I was like, like I've never done in-person sales at like an office, like a broker presentation. That sounds terrible to me, but I could do it. I know I could do it. But I think for me, it would be easier just to do like a pop-up, like free headshots, or let me make you a custom GIF or something, you know, something that's just more up my alley. And then they'd be able to work with you and see what it's like. So this year I am going to be implementing more in-person sales. I'm excited.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was genius. That idea for the headshots was pretty cool. I like that idea of just showing up and saying, I'm going to be there for a 2-hour block. Whoever wants to hop in for a session, or however you want to set it up, but there's no session fee. It's just, if you want to download one of the photos, you like the photo that came out of it, then you got to pay for that. I like that. That's pretty slick, because it's, you know, if you don't really love your headshot, give it a try. And then you meet these people, right? And that's the real power. So that's cool. Yeah.
You know, I did have one brokerage that I shot for, and I did headshots in their office a few times for them. And the one thing about brokers is they don't stay at brokerages very long. I'm realizing like they jump around a lot. So when they jump to a new brokerage, if they remember you and they liked you, they're going to call you up at their new brokerage. And there are a lot of new brokers that probably don't know you in that office that they're going to expose you to. So just, and I remember I would bring like donuts with me when I do headshots for them, or, you know, and I always bring Christmas gifts to their office and hand them out to everyone. And like, you know, it's those little things where you go above and beyond that they remember. So something to keep in mind for future. So I'm excited to get back in person and start doing more. I used to do custom gifts for like all my clients. I drive around for hours passing them out. And this year I did like, I have a plant that like sprouts little babies. And so I like try to make I don't make them. I plant them and then they grow into new plants. So I did like 15 of those and I was just handing them out to clients like as
you
I
have a
would see them.
baby making plant, Rachel?
I do. And it's going nuts. Like I need more pots. I'm like, goodness, how many babies is this thing going to make? It's very fertile. It likes where it's at.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Anyways, so biggest takeaway was get your butt into the offices.
Yes.
Start selling yourself in person. So without further ado.
Let's dive into some of it. So
wait, before we do that. Next year, PMRE has moved. Yes. It was at the South Point Hotel, which I secretly love because it's very cheap. And they have $1.50 hot dogs. And I have to tell you, I got a Bloody Mary and a beer for $9 at the South Point. So it's super cheap. It's like very affordable, which I love. But
$10.50, you got dinner.
Yeah, exactly. But it's off the strip. It's like a 15-minute cab or 20-minute cab ride up to the strip, which kind of sucks if you want to go out at night or go to a show or anything, which you really don't need to leave the hotel. There's like too many people to talk to. But anyways, so this next year it's going to be at the Palms, and which is on the strip. So big upgrade, and the showroom holds more people, and they're adding a third day to the conference that is going to be commercial, which is an optional day to purchase that third day. So I'm not exactly sure what they mean by commercial. I'm assuming they mean architectural and design, but I don't know why they just wouldn't call it that. I don't know. So anyways, we'll have to ask Brandon and find out, but yeah. Good stuff. So
maybe they mean like commercial spaces, like commercial realtors.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, which isn't really a hot topic amongst, I haven't really heard anyone talk about shooting for, I guess, well, no, because like architectural and design is commercial. They do a lot of commercial spaces. So that's okay. Maybe I'm just
I don't know.
being too literal here.
We're going to find out though. I bet you they'll let us know.
Brandon, if you're listening, please let me know. Anyways. So next year, if you get a chance to go, be on the lookout for that, because it's an amazing experience. Yes. And I think everybody should go. And I finally get to meet Neil next year. And Neil,
that's right. It's going to be we're going to do a slow motion, like run through the palms. Okay. We're going to need somebody to film that. Okay. At like 120 frames. All right. And so we're going to run. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah. If you
I'm bringing Abel, so he will be able to film us for sure.
Yes. Yes. Oh, dream team.
Woo.
I love it.
He just woke up from his nap. He might come and say hi. Abel, you should come say hi to the podcast.
I love it.
Oh, no, he doesn't have a shirt on. Never mind. Imagine that.
Abel, he's allergic to cotton. We've covered this.
He is highly allergic. Yes. Works out in my favor.
That's hilarious.
Anyway,
I think every episode there should just be shirtless Abel going by at some point. I mean, you got a little something for everybody, Rachel.
Right? I know. I'm being so selfish. Abel, get over it.
Share, Rachel. Come on. Oh, that's funny.
Anyway. All right. So,
but so the Palms is going to be exciting, and we'll both be there because that's the promise.
Yes.
So we'll be excited to see there. But so we came up with what? How many questions did we come up with? And did you stick to them when you did the interviews, or was it just kind of?
Well, the first interview I did not stick to the same questions, but the next 3 that I did, I'm pretty sure I stuck to it and asked the same 3 questions. Yeah.
So we're going to dive right into these awesome interviews, talking to business owners like you about how they run their business. Hopefully it'll be pretty awesome info that you get from PMRE, even though you weren't there, or even if you were and you didn't get this info.
Exactly. All right. Well, enjoy, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
So good to see you.
You too.
So you're kind of a veteran here.
A little bit. 4 out of 5 years, including virtual. I missed the first one by just coincidence because I Googled real estate photography conference in 2019 just for fun and found this, but it was sold out.
Oh, darn.
So I almost got to 5, but no, 4.
Okay. 4 is a lot more than most people. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Where are you located?
I'm in Davenport, Iowa, which is about 2.5 hours west of Chicago.
Okay. And do you have a team? Or are you a solo shooter?
I am a solo shooter. To probably I'll probably hit about 300 listings this year, which is about double from last year. So I'm fairly low volume, but I also do work with commercial. I work with builders and designers as well.
And you do video editing?
I do.
As well?
I do. I've pulled back on some video editing. I don't do that full time. Well, I call it full time. Actually, it could be 2 full-time jobs basically. Pulled back on editing just to focus more on my business.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so we're gonna ask you a few questions.
Okay.
First one is, how long have you been in business?
Real estate full-time for 3 years.
Okay.
But I've been doing media. I started in weddings in 2015, but only video. So I never did the
Oh,
photography thing until real estate. Real estate was the first professional photography experience.
First question.
Yes.
What's the number one thing that you do to market your business and get new clients?
I utilize Instagram and Facebook. I try to promote my, as in value add service, promote my agents' listings. I do stories from listings, kind of talk about like a preview, like look for here's a sneak peek. I'll usually do like a couple days beforehand if I know when the listing's going live. And being a lower volume shooter helps me be able to do that just because I'm not having to keep a track of as many listings. Just helping getting the content out there and on behalf of my clients, because then what happens is they end up sharing it, because that way they don't have to post it. Even though I do ask them, you need to get that native engagement for yourself, that organic engagement. So,
Right.
But I try to do my part.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great way to collaborate and to show off your work too, right? Like
Yeah.
when they post it, if they tag you, and then you reshare it on your story,
Yep.
it's like that social proof that you're actually
Yep.
doing work for brokers.
Yep. And
you
I
know,
don't-
you're actually
yeah.
doing good work, and they can check out your whole shoot if they want, if they go see
Yeah,
the listing.
and I don't advertise at all. It's all basically referrals.
And you doubled in the slow year.
I did.
Good for you,
I
girl.
did.
Well, you must be providing really great service or something.
I've tried.
What is it? Like, what sets you apart from the competition?
I feel that I really try to pay close attention to detail. I have a little bit more time to shoot not strictly HDR. I mean, obviously I utilize HDR when it's appropriate, but I also, my compositions, and I try to throw in some details and give them a little bit something extra every time, especially not every shoot, because obviously you're gonna have your vacant, ugly ducklings that, even the agent's like, please don't put that on social media. I
You're
beg
like, don't
you.
worry, I won't.
yeah, like please don't do that. But I feel just having a connection, a relationship, the number one thing that I would hear, especially from conversions, is offering all the services as opposed to being that one-stop shop.
Yeah,
that's
huge.
really huge in my area. We don't have a lot of people that do that. They're mostly just photographers, or they're just moonlighting. They're not doing it full time. So that's a big one. Cultivating relationships is really, really important to me, and making an agent or making my clients feel important, and not providing a good experience to the homeowners as well. So I've heard many times at a listing, and they actually would be quite vocal about, like, if a home's not ready, it's just like they would be very vocal about the fact, like, oh, like this isn't ready. They'd be rude.
Like throw a fit.
Like throw a fit. And it's just like, yeah, we all feel that way.
Right.
We've all had those moments, but you, like, literally you can either prepare your clients better. It's not their fault. They're already stressed to the max.
Oh, yeah.
Getting their house ready. And then you have someone coming in, a complete stranger, to shoot pictures of the house that they're already terrified about. And they just do nothing but, insult and complain about the house because it inconveniences them. So
And that's not helping anybody or
No,
anything. It's
no.
like, okay, we see we have a problem, so let's figure out a way to resolve it.
Yes.
And you can do that by helping and assisting. Okay, let's work together. We're gonna get this cleaned up, walk
Yep.
through the house, let's put things away.
Yep.
And that shows a lot about who you are as a person too, when people, they can relate to that. So,
Yeah.
Okay, last question. This
Okay.
one might be a tough one.
Okay.
But what is the biggest mistake or your biggest regret that you made in your business?
That's actually an easy one for me, only because it's painfully obvious, especially now that I am busier and I've grown so much, is that I still haven't, I hadn't taken the proper time when I first started out to build that foundation and those systems. Like, I only started offering ordering in the last 6 months, even though I had had my delivery platform for longer than that. There's all these pieces that were missing. I'm handling everything myself, even still. I mean, it's getting a little better, but having those systems established, even if you are just starting out and you don't know what the future holds, if you're passionate and you're committed to doing this full time, you need to set that foundation and you need to get those processes in place. So, consult a legal professional, consult a CPA, invest a little bit of money. It's not yes, it's going to cost you money, and you may decide, you may not be growing that far, but investing those couple $100, even in consultations with somebody, just to get advice on what to do to start, so you're doing things in the proper order and not trying to backtrack and make up for all that time that you spent just flying by the seat of your pants. So that's kind of what I've been doing for the past 3 years to a degree. Even now, I still feel like, I'm scheduling all my own stuff. It's not automatically, I'm still scheduling all of it. So there's all these things that I have yet to improve upon myself and my business to make myself less insane, because the more time you spend on all those things, and in retrospect, the less time you have for yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, get your systems in place as
Totally.
soon as possible.
I couldn't agree more. And it's almost easier to just do it from the get-go, so you don't have to go back and redo it all.
Yeah.
Or like fix the problems that have already.
Yeah.
It's almost like hiring a new shooter,
Yeah.
and they have experience. And I'd almost rather have someone that doesn't have very much experience, because I'm going to have to like retrain them and like
Right.
remove their bad habits, and then it's more
Exactly.
work to do that than to just start out fresh from the very beginning.
Start
like,
from
right
scratch.
out the gate.
And like, don't question, well, I don't know, let's see how successful this goes first.
Right.
It's like, no, because if you're already questioning whether you're going to be successful or not, you're sowing those seeds of doubt already.
Yeah.
So just
But I think
do
that's
it.
normal to
Yeah.
have doubt
It's
in
no,
a new
oh,
business,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's, I'm very much the poster child sometimes for do as I say, not as I do. But that is the best advice I could provide to somebody. Is just, get your crap together from right at the start as much as you can.
Yeah. Totally. Well, thank you. That was
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Always
good to see you.
I'm here with Matthew Anderson. He is an architectural and design photographer, and he has a YouTube channel,
Yes.
right? And
Yep.
you just interviewed me with these rapid fire questions, which is super fun.
And I just blitzed you
Yeah.
out of the blue,
It's all
answered
good.
with the microphone in your face. So
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So what's your channel so people can follow you?
just type in Matthew Anderson Photography.
Awesome.
So yeah, my stupid face will be the one that pops up.
Love it. Cool. All right, so we've got some questions for you.
Sure.
So tell me, what do you specialize in?
So right now I consider myself an A&D photographer. I did real estate for probably about 5-ish years.
Okay.
Kind of slowly transitioned out of it into A&D. Did real estate for the longest time and been full-time at it for almost 10 years now.
Oh, good for you. Awesome. All right, so what's the number one tool that you use to market your business?
Right now or back when I was doing real
Let's
estate?
do right now.
Right now is social media.
Nice.
Honestly, I mean, that's a big reason why I kind of hit the gas a little bit harder with my Instagram and especially YouTube. I wanted to kind of expand my digital footprint. So I'm based in Kansas City. So when anyone would type in architecture, photography, Kansas City, my information pops up there. And because Google is clearly integrated with YouTube,
Yes.
it's almost a no-brainer that the more videos I put out there related to architecture, photography, and type in like Kansas City every now and then, yeah, I'm a search result.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Really smart. I love that. Okay. Do you just shoot single, or do you have a team?
It's just me.
Just you?
Yeah.
Okay. What are some trainings or books or seminars that you've been to recently or that you plan to attend in the future that are going to help you grow as an entrepreneur?
I know, as far as the mentality of running the business, a big thing that kind of helps me is to pick the brains of other entrepreneurs who are not in architecture and design. I would read a lot of books from CEOs who ran other type of companies. Brewing Up a Business by Sam Calagione, I think, or Sam Calagone, who ran Dogfish Head Brewery.
Okay.
Was kind of a cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting to hear other people's stories
Yeah.
and applying some of the principles and the tenacity and things that techniques when it came to doing what your competition is not doing and apply it to growth. To make your business grow. There wasn't like specifics I would take away, but just the mental attitude of like, you got to do something different in your competition
Yeah.
to stand out. I've done workshops. I took a workshop in 2019 with Wayne Capelli, Scott Hargis, and Mike Kelly. That was pretty cool. That was right around the time I was transitioning from real estate to more A&D stuff.
Sharpening up your skills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
true.
and that's kind of was the tough part going from real estate to A&D stuff. The big takeaway I learned from that one was to slow down. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there was some cool technical things to learn, but even in real estate, we had to learn sometimes to take a breath, slow down, analyze a photo. You're going to take a much better shot as opposed to just running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yeah.
So
Shooting a house in 30 minutes, my specialty.
forget it. I hated it.
All right.
It's this big, beautiful mansion. No, it's so cool. You got 45 minutes.
Yeah.
What?
Whoa, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good answer. What's the biggest mistake you've made in your business?
Not knowing a lot about copyright and licensing. When I first started off, I was basically giving away the farm. People were taking advantage of naivety. What's the word?
Naiveness?
There it goes.
I don't
There
know
it
if
is.
that's a
Yeah.
word.
So, basically taking advantage of my lack of education about my own line of work.
Yeah.
I wish I had known back then what I knew now. And because, I just gave away stuff. I was having my work stolen a lot. I wasn't protecting myself. And in hindsight, that was a big mistake. I wish I would have known a lot about that sooner.
So any resources for people if they're like, I'm in a similar boat, like I need help with that. So
Yeah.
where could we go to learn more about that? Or how did you learn about
Well,
it?
you can check out the course I did with Mike Kelly related to the business side of architecture and photography.
Okay, on it.
It's on AP Almanac. So, just looking at YouTube videos is a big help. And contacting a local attorney. I know this sounds like such adult stuff, that so many people might be afraid of.
It sounds expensive. Whenever I hear attorney, I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna cost at least $2,000.
But I mean,
but worth it.
If you're using an attorney for the first time, a lot of them will work on contingency, meaning they're not going to take a case. It's like those car wreck commercials that you see. We don't get paid unless you win. Well, that's how some IP attorneys work. Is they realize that we don't have tens of thousands of dollars in reserve to spend on an attorney. So they'll say, hey, we'll take 30, 40, sometimes 50%. If you win a case, if we settle something for $20,000, you get 10. And I'm okay with that. I don't have to put anything up front. But anyway, long story short, local IP attorney is probably the best resource. Pick their brain, ask them questions, ask dumb questions that you think are dumb. Because if you're not asking them, you're never going to know.
True. Very true. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I'm excited to check out your
All
YouTube
right.
channel.
Sounds good.
Rach, I'm sorry. I'm gonna interrupt for a second.
Goodness, Neil. Goodness. Fine. What do you have to say?
Okay, so I know we talked to you guys about this before, but I want to bring it up because we got a cool deal for you guys to help you guys out. I want to talk to you all about the marketing kit from HD Photo, which Rachel and I both use, and we both upsell to make extra money with no extra effort on our part, zero zip. Besides, maybe if you want to set it up as something they can choose in their booking options to just buy it from you. But if you're not aware, this is a great way to make extra income. Is the marketing kit, which includes a dedicated website to a listing, includes social media templates, printable flyers, even a slideshow video that's made automatically off the stills that you upload to their gallery. So what you want to do is set it up and then add a little buffer on top of that, a little charge on top of that, so you make some income off of it whenever they buy it, which both Rachel and I do as well. And whenever somebody gets that, it's just like free money to me. I'm like, awesome, I made some money off of something that took no effort, right? And so I wanted to just bring it up real quick because we have a deal for you with a little promo code, right, Rach?
Yes, we do. And I use it. I give it for free when they order a works package. So like
that's a good
as
point,
just
too.
an extra add-on, and it doesn't cost me much extra, but it just gives them that incentive to buy that package. Like they're getting even more with that works package. And then I sell it for $50. It costs you 15 credits. And I charge $50 for it. So I'm making $35 for doing nothing. And so many of my clients absolutely love it, especially the printable flyers that are fully customizable. So if you guys want to try this out for yourself, you can get 50 free credits from HD Photo Hub by using the promo code STS, as in shooting the shit. Try it out today, guys. You'll love it.
Awesome.
Okay, back to the show. So we are here with Upmarket Media. Upmarket Pod podcast.
There you go.
We got Reed Fish.
There you go.
And Mark Corcoran over here in the background. What's up? And we're going to ask you a couple questions. So everyone knows you from your podcast. Tell me, how long have you been in business?
As Upmarket Media,
Correct.
we're coming up on 3 years.
3 years.
And we each had our own individual businesses before that. So we're probably like 10, 11 years in each, but then we merged into Upmarket Media about almost 3 years ago.
Okay. Awesome. Love it. Yeah. And how many shooters do you have on your team?
We're down to 2. We were 4 a couple months ago, but now we're 2.
Is that Mark and one other? Or
No,
is it Mark
that's
and
2
others?
employees, and then it's
Okay.
Mark, and then now I've been tasked with shooting a little bit more. No, there's no yay.
Torturing
There's no yay.
him. Thank
yeah,
you,
exactly.
Mark.
Yeah, torturing. Exactly.
All right. So we're going to do 5 questions.
Oh, those weren't some of the questions.
Nope,
oh,
that was
okay.
just your
Whoa.
little
Oh,
bio.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
this
Damn
is
it.
just your bio
Okay, so it's
overview.
like 7 questions. Okay. All right.
Yes,
All right.
maybe 8.
I'm in. Okay. I'm in.
We could cut it down to 3 if
That's
you
fine.
need
No,
to
I'm
get
in.
back to the party. But all right, first question. So what is the number one way that you market your business to get new clients?
In person. So we're going to realtor networking events, either through the Realtor Association. We're going to brokerages and doing brokerage presentations, and basically anywhere that realtors are meeting up. And in our home area, even not through the association, there are some other people who throw networking events every so often. So we're going to 2 to 3 to 4 of those every month.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. I don't do that at all.
Yeah, well, you should.
This is the second person I've heard say that tonight.
Well,
and I'm
that's also the beauty of having two owners of the business is that we can both. It's tough to have your employees go to that. It's just not quite the same.
Right.
But with us, because there's two of us, we can kind of split duties, or sometimes we'll go together, and so we're able to go to those more often.
Love it. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
What was your biggest struggle when growing your business?
Work-life balance. I mean, well, to grow. I mean, I guess once it grew, it was work-life balance. But the biggest struggle was probably figuring out that in-person marketing was crucial. I mean, I wasn't really marketing at all. I was just relying on word of mouth, essentially. And my in-person marketing would consist of, occasionally people would schedule me to shoot during Caravan, and so then I would be at Caravan when the realtors would walk through and view the houses, and so then I could see them then. And then I always realized that I started to realize, it's actually good for me to shoot during Caravan, even though it's annoying because they get in your way. But it was actually good for in-person marketing. And then I realized, there's actually networking events. And so, that was the biggest struggle, is actually just figuring out what to do. I wasn't a business person. I was just shooting some houses on the side to make some money.
What is Caravan?
Caravan is when all the, it's like in my town, it's every Friday morning. All the agents, they get a list of everything that's new on the MLS, and the realtors who are listing the properties hold them open, and all the realtors go around and tour the properties that are new on the market.
In a van?
No, in a Dodge Caravan. Yeah, they're the official sponsor of Caravan for all realtors.
That's so cool.
They all individually go. Some of them will carpool. I see. Yeah.
I had to add that in there.
You don't have that?
No, I've never heard of that.
Wow.
So I was like, what is this? Maybe we do, and I just don't know about it.
Yeah, well, it's an effective marketing tool, and we need to do it. One of the things you can do at Caravan is if one of your agents is holding a house open, you could also go and say, bring muffins and bring food, because the realtors love free food. So if you provide coffee and muffins and you're there, it's provided by Upmarket Media, and your realtor client will actually appreciate that, because then they don't have to buy food for the people, and then you get to sit there and talk to all the realtors.
I love it, and everybody loves food.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. Reed, what is your favorite motivational quote? Not to
What?
Or motivational movie? Or motivational book?
What?
Should Mark, you can just get in there and
No,
talk right into that microphone.
No, just do it.
Yes.
Yeah, do nothing. Yeah, that's my favorite. I'm drawing a blank, so I'll go with one of the most famous slogans of all time from Nike, just do it.
I love it. What is the worst business decision you've ever made?
Buying an FPV drone.
That's a great answer. I bought one and returned it. I was like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, we kept it too long and had to sell it on eBay at a loss.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it. And
of course.
hopefully
Thanks,
we'll
Rachel.
be seeing more of you.
And yeah. All right.
Bye. Hi, Tony.
Hi.
So I met Tony today at PMRE, and he has a pretty incredible story. He's new to real estate photography. How long have you been in the business?
Going on 8 months.
Yeah, love it. And you're jumping in like...
Full board. Yeah, head first.
What's your background? Explain kind of where you came from.
Yeah, so I have about 15 years of sales experience prior to this. I was most recently a global director for a cybersecurity company. I sold sponsorships for conferences all over the world.
Wow, love it. So
But I hated it.
you're like,
It wasn't
I'm
my
not
thing.
happy.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's something you're really good at, but you're not passionate about. You just keep doing the same thing over and over, and I needed a change.
The money's there, but you're not enjoying what you're doing.
Totally.
So life is not good.
Yeah.
Because money does not buy you happiness.
Exactly. Yeah, so I did some soul searching. I had some life events that happened and maybe rethink my entire life and who I want to be and how I want to show up for my family. And after going through that process, here I am. I went full speed ahead into this business, and 8 months in, I've really enjoyed it, and I feel like I'm a totally different person. Showing up for my family, being a lot more involved, and just being the person that I want to be. So
Good for you.
I'm all about it.
Love
Yeah.
it. So you are in Portland, Oregon.
Yep.
What's your Instagram handle so people can find you?
It is Reimagine Northwest.
Okay, perfect. And then you merged with another company. Like
Yeah.
8 months in, and you found another company and decided that it's a good idea to merge
Yeah.
with someone.
Yep.
That's a big move.
It is.
Yeah.
I've spent, this time learning all the technical skills, building my brand, building my relationships, and I realized that I want to scale this thing and really go to the next level. I found a local videographer that is incredibly talented, has a lot of the same passion points I do, and we really just clicked. And now we want to launch this new business, Mosaic Studio. We just got the LLC done and taking the next steps together. So,
Good for you.
yeah.
Good for you. So what ways, I'm asking questions to random people at this conference, just trying to get different perspectives, same questions, but different areas in your journey in business.
For sure.
So what is your number one way to market your business? I guess we should talk about your current business that you have, because you just merged, like this is brand new. So you haven't really stepped into that new role yet.
Right.
So your own personal business, just starting out the gate, 8 months in, what have you done to market your business?
So I was pretty fortunate because I do have a good community of people and good influence in my region. Mm-hmm. I went to people that I know that are in real estate and just grabbed coffee with them and said, tell me about what you've seen be successful in the past of other photographers you've worked with and what has not been successful. So a lot of those conversations gave me kind of the foundation to understand, like, how do I need to build this business and what do I need to do to take care of my community? That was a huge piece for me. And then the other part was going and doing presentations at realtors' offices and meetings and just speaking about who I am and what I bring to the table that's different. For me, it's like, be authentic, be yourself, tell them your story. And that's been the number one driver of my business.
Does that work, the networking? When you go and do those presentations in the offices, like, what's your success rate with that?
So in the last 8 months, I've done 9 of them, and every single one has led to a business opportunity.
Wow.
Or I'll have somebody follow me out and just be like, hey, wait, I want to talk to you. And because sometimes you have partners they don't work for the realtor. Mm-hmm. Or the agency, they are a partner that comes in and they might do multiple of those a week. Mm-hmm. And so I've had those people follow me out and say, hey, can you come with me on Wednesday to Lake Oswego to do another
one? Maybe like a
one?
mortgage broker, you're
exactly.
saying, or like some other
So
vendor.
No matter what, it's been good for me. I don't do a big presentation. I print out some flyers and I go in and I have a conversation just like this. Like, hey, I'm Tony, this is where I come from, this is what my focus is and why I'm here. And I keep it short and sweet and be good and be gone, and it's been great.
That's amazing. I have not done that one time. Not one time have I done a presentation at a brokerage. Dom is filming right now. Dom does media. And he's shaking his head no, like I haven't either. Dom, we're interviewing you next.
Oh God. I recently did it in Bob.
I think a lot of people overthink it. Like,
Yeah,
you don't need
I
to
think-
do a full sales pitch. You don't need to do a full slide deck.
Yeah.
It's like an interview. Have a couple key points that they remember and be authentic and open it up for questions and be yourself.
I seriously feel like God is speaking to me saying, Rachel, you need to be doing this, because everyone that I talk to at this conference, like yesterday and today, has been saying, I asked this question and they're like, oh, I network. I go to all these different events. I joined this realtor association and I go to these monthly meetups, and I'm like, I'm really not doing enough. Like, I could be we're fine. Social media works, right? Like, Dom knows it works. It's doing fine, but it's like there is a lot of opportunity in networking. So good for you. I'm proud of you.
I mean, I didn't know anybody here, and I bought a ticket to this conference and flew out by myself. So
Yeah, good for you. And now you're at dinner with, like,
here we are.
really great people.
Yeah.
And you're on a podcast.
Here we are.
Hey, there we go. On your way up, kid. Okay, question number 2. What do you do to continue your education? What things have you read? Any books that have been transformative? Like, obviously you're here. Like conferences or any meetup groups that you're a part of. What do you do to keep it going?
So I'm trying to cram 10,000 hours into this last 7 months, right? And so I've listened to a ton of podcasts, Upmarket, Shooting Spaces, Spirio podcast, a couple different ones there.
Shooting the shit?
Shooting the shit, yeah. And they all led me to this conference. Honestly, like, a lot of it kept coming up over and over again. I've taken some courses online. I did the Eli Jones, the rep team program. And then a lot of it with photography is like, go outside, take photos, like make some new content and get your hands on a camera as much as possible and figure it out. So a lot of it's just like nonstop, different methods, right? So I'm listening to a podcast, I'm talking to local photographers and videographers in my area, and just soaking it all up. Like it's just all in.
You dove in.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. Like they said today at the conference, like just do it. Like just jump in, go all in. That's the key to success. Is just like jump in and then figure it all out after that.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I offered everything. I said I do video, I didn't know how to do that, but I was like, I'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
But the biggest thing about it is being honest and transparent with your clients and people around you and say, you know what, I haven't done a lot of video, or this is my first video, or whatever. And as long as you're upfront and honest with your clients, like they respect that a lot more than pretending like you're the master of it and screwing it all up. So, or throwing things in for free. Hey, can I do a video for free for you? I'm learning. They like that a lot more than pretending.
Trying to pitch them on something that's not ready to go.
So, I am me.
I love it.
I'm see-through.
Yeah, good answer. Okay, last question. What is one mistake that you've made in your business that, like one thing that you did that you wish you wouldn't have done? Or a mistake that you made? Reed from Upmarket said he bought an FPV drone. Which I thought was a great answer. I was like, yeah, I can see that being a huge mistake because those are crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I've kind of like accepted the process, knowing, like going into this, I knew I would make mistakes, and so maybe I have made some, but I haven't like felt like it hasn't been that painful. I think the first thing was I couldn't figure out a business name, and so I opened up with a name that I didn't like, and it's been painful to like go through the process. Yeah, it's been painful because like you have to go do an amendment with LLC, and then you got to go to the bank and like fix it with the bank. And like one bank was easy and the other one was like, no, they just gave me a thing to like mail in. It's just like that kind of stuff is a little painful sometimes. But most of it was, I kind of went into it knowing I would make some mistakes and being okay with that. So nothing.
That's a very PC answer. I like it.
Horrible so far.
I think the name change would be your biggest mistake so far.
Yeah.
You're new, so.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
For participating. Yeah.
You got it.
Are you nervous?
Right. No, not at all.
Good.
I love this.
Good. Yeah. This is easy. It's just
Yeah.
conversation, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm here with Cam. Cam, what's your last name?
Raduszewski. Try to pronounce that.
Yeah, say that another time, please.
Yeah, right.
What's your Instagram handle so people can find you?
Lux Point Media. Yeah, definitely check it out.
Where are you based out of?
We're based in Chicago.
Okay. And do you have a team or are you single?
Yeah, just
shooter?
single shooter. We have a photo editor, a video editor, and a VA.
Okay.
Next year, we're probably going to start hiring photographers and videographers to join on the team, but at the moment, it's just me.
Yeah. So how long have you been at it?
Approaching 2 years.
Okay. So fairly new.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going?
It's been going great. It's been going great. So far, like ever since last year, the business has quadrupled. Like blessed to have implemented a lot of video format for Instagram content. That's definitely like elevated the business quite a bit. So
you're getting brokers on camera.
Oh yeah.
Pushing their brand a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is what we've learned a lot about here.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so this leads me into a good segue. So you've been 2 years in the business.
Yeah.
So your first year was probably like, it was pretty easy. There was a lot
Oh
of
my
clients,
God, yeah.
a lot of listings, right?
Oh yeah.
Like you're just starting out, but the second year it got a little bit slower. So what did you do in the beginning when you first started out to market yourself and to get new clients?
So I kind of like started in a very odd position because when I started my business at the time, I was doing sales. In between all the sales the sales calls and everything that I was doing, I was building my business in the back end. I pretty much like before I had any clients or anything, I was building out the website, I was building out a platform where I can easily have people schedule the shoots and deliver all the content and everything like that. Like we use, our amazing platforms like HD Photo Hub or Aerial. And I built out the back end, and then when I came back to Chicago, I had one realtor that I knew. He was my uncle. He was my first client. I didn't have any other connections to any other realtors. And I went to networking events. I picked people's like brains constantly. Just like I was trying to get known in the industry, and I just did everything I possibly could, like reaching to them out on Instagram, going to all these network events. I just did anything I possibly could, and eventually, like people started seeing me and my work, and now it's grown to like I have about 100 realtors that I'm working with now. So
Good for you. That's amazing. That's awesome. So does the in-person networking work for you? Do you have a lot of success with that? I know we had talked that you're a little more introverted.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my God. Yeah.
Once I don't really do that, and,
Yeah.
and that's what I've already said this on this, so I might cut it.
Yeah.
But I've had a lot of people tell me that that's their main way of advertising.
Yeah.
Like they're going to every event, they're joining the realtors associations to
Yeah.
get in front of them, and like they're doing free shoots for people at events, like all these
Yeah.
things in person. So do you get leads from that? Is that working?
Yeah, I mean, I don't go to them anymore, just don't have time anymore. But at the beginning, I maybe got a couple of shoots, but eventually, after a few months, they started reaching out and they started hiring me to, do all these photos and videos for,
Cool.
for their properties and everything. But yeah.
So what do you do to diversify yourself in this sea of real estate photographers?
Video is like one of my strong suits. I come from a TV show background, and it's been something that I've been doing for over a decade. So I'm pretty well knowledge in it, and I just kept on looking at like what the trends are with video stuff, and I just completely switched. Most of my shoots, 80% of them, are pretty much shot on iPhone. It's just because it's cheaper for the realtor to get these videos. It's much quicker for us to shoot. Honestly, on social media, you can't really see the quality difference. So I really pushed heavily into it. No, you're good, you're good.
Being interrupted.
Yeah, no, you're good, you're good.
Super fan of the Dom shirt over here.
Oh yeah, it's a great shirt. I'm still waiting for mine. I want to get that one.
Talked about that.
But yeah, I mean, I just dived in deep into really like perfecting the craft of these reels, and now we're working on a couple deals, monthly retainers with brokerages, to actually think of a marketing strategy and try to help their brokerage grow and their brand grow through these videos and through these marketing plans that we have with them. So that's something that like I feel like not a lot of media companies offer, especially in Chicago. I just see a bunch of people like shooting videos with no like really direction behind it, and it's kind of heartbreaking because realtors are spending all this money and unfortunately they don't see the return on investment with these videos, and I completely get that. So I kind of want to really focus on that and just better the video quality and actually have a purpose behind it. So
It's amazing. Yeah, we listened to Cody Boone, who shot for Renzi
Yeah.
Starhand.
He's
And he said that a video that has a broker in it in the beginning, they ran the analytics on 500 videos
Yeah.
they had put on social media. So Cody Boone did his presentation on video, and he said, "Hi, Tom." Okay.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, welcome to my life. So fun. Anyways, so Cody Boone did a video presentation, and he used to shoot for Ryan Serhant, and he took 500 videos that they did, and they ran the analytics on them. So it was videos with agents, without agents, starting with like a hero drone shot coming in. Like they analyzed all the different ways that the videos started and which ones got the most views and the longest views. And they found that the videos that had an agent in the first 5 seconds 10x'd the other videos that didn't. So the fact that you're getting your agents on camera is a huge asset to them.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna use those stats in my marketing now.
Oh,
Because
100%.
like that's amazing. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew it was important, but I didn't have stats to back it up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I honestly get upset with my realtors like when they say that they can't make the shoot for the video, because like it completely transforms the whole direction of where this video is going.
I know.
It's not about the property. Like these videos aren't going to sell the property. It's the agent that's selling it. It's the videos that are going to brand themselves, and that's what realtors are needing. That's what's ultimately going to get them more clients, more eyeballs on themselves by branding themselves through these videos that we make.
Exactly. Last question. One, I've asked everybody this question. It's kind of a hard one to come up with, like off the top of your head. But what is the biggest mistake or something that you did in your business that you regret?
Yeah, it is a very difficult question to answer, but honestly, like I wish I started this sooner. But I'm also, grateful with the experiences that I had, because if it wasn't for my career path in film and working on a really big podcast, I probably wouldn't be in the position that I'm in right now. And I'm super blessed. So, I always say, like, obviously it's good to learn from your mistakes. I mean, that's how you grow. Like, those mistakes are completely fine to make. Yeah, we learn from our mistakes, and you shouldn't feel bad for making them. So, don't look at it as a bad thing. It's just you're growing, while you're making them. So.
I love it. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we may not be the best at math because apparently we had 5.
Yes. We
That's a
missed one.
bonus for everybody. Bonus.
Yes.
Yeah. Those were so cool though, Rach. I'm so glad you did those. And yes, the audio was much better.
Yes.
I'm glad you got those little DJI mics. Those work pretty well for you then?
Yeah, no, they're fantastic. And you can buy a little lav to go with them too. So you can actually like clip it on. And yeah, they're just so easy because it's got the little travel case that charges them as you go. And then you just pull it out and plug it right into your phone. You're good to go. Like it's just, and it works every time. Like I had this old audio kit. I think I spent like $200 on it. It was like Ceramonic or something. And half the time they wouldn't link. And I'd be like recording and it would just be silent. And I'd have to always double check. And I was always paranoid. This is great. It's just like done. Don't have to worry about it. So yeah, it's good
Great
stuff.
job. No, it's really cool to hear some of the different perspectives on things, and some the guy who's 8 months in is just full on into it. Pretty cool, man. Yeah, I love hearing all the different perspectives. That's pretty neat. I'm excited for next year where we can interview people together. Just totally overwhelm them.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have like a little portable light that we can bring. We can light it up, right?
Yes, I have a little portable light we can bring. Actually, that would be nice, especially like some of those in the certain environments you get those raccoon eyes. It's pretty rough. But
That's pretty fair. And honestly, like I knew I shouldn't be recording in the actual showroom with all the noise around me, but I'm like, what do I do? Go out in the casino? It's loud out there too. Like there really wasn't a good spot. So
it's Vegas. There's probably not a lot of quiet spots.
Yeah. Well, the place that I recorded with Reed, they do their action item spectacular where they interview people and just ask them for one action item at PMRE, and I think they did like 15 of them. So he called me back to do one, and then I was like, hey, can I interview you too for ours? But theirs was like so legit. They had like their real podcast mics and their whole board set up. I don't even know what that thing is. I was like, what are all these buttons? I'm like, this is too advanced for me. We're just like on Zoom.
Yeah.
Low production value over here. But anyway.
What are you gonna do?
I know. No, it was fun it's Reed and Mark are great. They're fun. They're fun dudes. They're funny.
Well, you did a great job. Way
Thank
to go.
you. Thank you. So, well, I hope that gave you guys a sneak peek of PMRE and gave you some info about these teams. And we have a few more interviews that we will be doing with other teams around the United States. And yeah, I'm excited to share those episodes with you guys.
Yeah, totally. Hopefully we'll see you all at PMRE next year.
Yes, we will. But we'll see you on the next episode.
As well. Very good.
Bye.
Bye.